If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. My goal is to reach 100 subscribers, and I would really appreciate you guys if you guys hit that button. So, I did a part one on predicting the Eastern Conference starters, bench players, and wild cards who I believe who are going to make the All Star game, and now I'm doing it for the Western Conference. So the Western Conference was definitely harder for me personally to predict because I just think the West is very strong still, and even though a few players like Harden and a few other players came to the East, the West is still really strong. The hardest part about predicting these spots is there's gonna have to be somebody left out, and some people might agree with it, some people may disagree. It's really up to you guys, but please keep in mind as I am telling you this, these are my opinions. You may agree or disagree, so please leave it in the comments down if you agree or if you disagree, and let me know what you think. But let's get straight to the point. So, for the Western Conference starters, I have Stephen Curry, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, and Nikola Jokic as my five starters on the Western Conference All Star team. To get started with Steph, he's had an amazing year so far. A lot of people were predicting him to be just. A lot of people were predicting he can't carry this Warriors team without Clay. Draymond Draymond started the year off bad, but he's kind of picking up now. But a lot of people had doubts on what Steph could do, but he's clearly proven those people wrong. If you watch what he does, you can see what I'm talking about. But Paul George is actually an interesting case because he's playing amazing so far, arguably in the most valuable player conversations, top five in my opinion. Or I would actually have to think about that more, but he's definitely up there. Um, but coming off of last year's season, a lot of people have been kind of just disrespecting Paul George, like he's just a bad player. He sucks off of one playoff series or just a few in the past, but you know what I mean. Um, yeah, Paul George has been playing amazing. I believe at one point he was shooting 50, 50, 90. I don't know if that's still the case. I should really look that up before I recorded this. But yeah, Paul George, he's doing great so far, and the Clippers overall are doing amazing. So it's kind of hard to take credit from him, no matter if you like him or if you hate him. I don't blame you if you don't believe in the Clippers this year because a lot of people believed them last year, and we all know what happened. But this Clippers team and Paul George is amazing so far to start the season. But Kawhi Leonard, his teammate, the same goes for him. He's been playing amazing also. He would arguably be in the most valuable player conversation, but I know throughout the year he's gonna start missing some games. So, but how he's playing right now, he's definitely up there. But LeBron James, he's LeBron James, enough said there. And Nikola Jokic is again, not to I'm not trying to repeat this, but again, also in the most valuable player conversation so far throughout the beginning of the season. So, but yeah, up next, I'm going to be talking about who I believe is going to be on the bench. This one took a little bit to predict because how I'm thinking about it is I'm thinking about how do I believe they're going to perform from from the voting ends in the middle of February from now. So I'm just predicting how many games they might miss, how many games. Yeah, you know what I mean. So on my bench on the Western Conference team, I have Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, and Rudy Gobert. For me personally, it was kind of hard to leave two out of these five people from starters, but just the people above them, I just had to put up there. But yeah, Damian Lillard, he's been playing amazing. Donovan Mitchell. Well, the thing about Donovan Mitchell is people don't understand how great he is, and he has an amazing future coming. Well, people do obviously understand how great he is, but people still have doubts about certain around. I'm talking about Shaq. If you don't know, how he was talking about how yeah, you probably seen the clip, but Yeah, I don't doubt Donovan Mitchell. It's just that. Luca is Luca. I did predict him to be either first or second in MVP voting, but he hasn't lived up to that so far throughout the season. I I don't believe he's gonna win it this year. My thoughts have kind of changed. I might make a separate video on that soon, but yeah, Anthony Davis is a dominant big man. Again with him, he hasn't been performing up to Anthony Davis level recently, and he's even said that himself that he hasn't been aggressive enough. He hasn't been just able to score. He's just been struggling with that, but I believe he's gonna pick it up. But I do believe he's gonna be an all-star no matter what, especially with his defense. And Rudy Gobert, a lot of people like to clown on him. Mainly, well, again, Shaq for the second time in this video, but also there's questions about his contract. There's questions about just overall stuff around his game. But I do believe it's going to be enough for him to make the All-Star team. But moving on to my wild cards. This one was kind of easy but hard. Especially in the just missed category. I'm going to be talking about right after this one. But my two wild cards I'm adding in is CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. And I'm going to explain to you in a second who I was close to replacing one of these two players with. But yeah, CJ and Brandon has been playing amazing for their respective teams. Yeah, it's just that they're helping them. Oh, well, except for Brandon Ingram because their team is at the bottom of the standings in their conference. But yeah, these players are still playing amazing, respectfully, and yeah, that's all I can say about that. So the just missed categories, I'm gonna explain to you why I believe these players are gonna miss this year compared to if this was the past or just any other circumstance, I would probably put them in. But the four players I have in my just missed category is Karl Anthony Towns, Chris Paul, Zion Williamson, and Ja Morant. And honestly, Cat is at the top of my list, but he should be at the bottom just because he's missed so many games. But if this was again a regular season, healthy, everything was going good, I would probably have him in. That's why I kind of put him at the top. But Chris Paul, he hasn't been playing like the Chris Paul we all know, and he's still been playing good, but I would just prefer the people who I have above him, obviously. But Zion Williamson, he has been a beast this year, and I don't see many people talking about it. And especially for the fact that for his rookie year, a lot of people had many expectations for him, but he's definitely playing a lot better than he did in his rookie year, as he should. But now there's not many people talking about it. Of course, there's some spots in his game that could be worked on with shooting, interior defense, just the simple stuff like that. But I'm expecting that to be better. He's in his second year, so he has time to grow, and I do believe he will. The same is really for Ja Morant. He's been playing amazing this year, but it's just I don't believe he's gonna make it over people who I have actually in the All-Star game. If you believe any of these people should be in there, let me know in the comments. But it's hard to predict what's gonna happen from now until the actual All-Star game. So if there is an All-Star game, because they were having talks about not having one, but then again, they were also having talks about trying to have one, so we don't know what's gonna really happen until then. But I just want to predict if the game happens or not, who I believe who's gonna have that extra All-Star tag added to them. But yeah, just to recap, who I believe is gonna make the All-Star game, I have Stephen Curry, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, and Nikola Jokic as my starters. For the bench, I have Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, and Rudy Gobert for my bench. And for the wild cards, I have CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. And for the people who just missed it, is Karl Anthony Towns, Chris Paul, Zion Williamson, and Ja Morant. But that is the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.